Imagine a queen so ruthless, so manipulative, that her very name becomes synonymous with evil. Today, we're diving into the story of Jezebel, a woman whose actions shook an entire kingdom and whose legacy serves as a stark warning to us all. If you want to stand strong against manipulation and control, keep watching. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have the tools you need to protect yourself from the Jezebel spirit that still tries to weave its way into our lives. Stick with me. We're going to break down her story, look at the lessons we can learn, and most importantly, how to avoid being influenced by that same spirit in our lives. You don't want to miss this. Jezebel's story begins in 1 Kings 16:31, where she is introduced as the wife of King Ahab of Israel. She's often painted as the ultimate villain, and honestly, it's hard to argue against that reputation. Jezebel came from a background of idol worship and immediately brought those beliefs into Israel. She encouraged her husband to abandon his faith, promoting the worship of Baal instead. But here's the kicker. She wasn't just some passive figure in the background. Jezebel was a master manipulator. She used fear, control, and even violence to get what she wanted. She even orchestrated the murder of the prophets of God and framed an innocent man, Naboth, to steal his vineyard. Can you imagine? Her most infamous moment came when she clashed with the prophet Elijah. After Elijah called down fire from heaven to prove the power of the true God, Jezebel swore to kill him, showing just how deep her hatred for God's truth ran. Yet, despite her threats, Elijah was protected by God, while Jezebel's end was a violent and disgraceful one, as prophesied, thrown from a window, trampled by horses, and left to be devoured by dogs. Lessons learned. So, what can we learn from her messy, chaotic life? Here are a few critical lessons. 1. First up, beware of manipulation and control. Jezebel was a master manipulator, using deceit and intimidation to get her way. We must be vigilant against those who use similar tactics in our lives and ensure we don't fall into the trap of using manipulation to achieve our own ends. If you find someone in your life trying to steer you away from your values or down a dangerous path, it's time to put your foot down. Secondly, stay true to your beliefs. Despite her threats, Elijah remained faithful to God. In a world where we're often pressured to compromise our beliefs, we must stand firm, knowing that God is our protector and ultimate judge. Make sure you're connected to your own values and beliefs so you can stand firm when someone tries to knock you off balance. 3. The consequences of idolatry. And finally, understand the consequences of idolatry. Jezebel's introduction of Baal worship led Israel into chaos and judgment. We must be careful not to let anything, whether it's a person, ideology, or material possession, take God's place in our hearts. Avoiding the Jezebel spirit. Now, let's talk about how to avoid falling into the snares of a Jezebel spirit. 1. Cultivate humility. First, cultivate humility. The Jezebel spirit thrives on pride and arrogance. By cultivating humility, you leave no room for such a spirit to take root. 2. Set boundaries. Next, set boundaries. It's okay to say no. Seriously, if someone is pushing you into a corner or trying to manipulate you emotionally, you don't have to entertain that behavior. 3. Practice discernment. Also, practice discernment. Be discerning in your relationships and leadership. Not everyone who seems powerful or influential has your best interests, or God's, at heart. 4. Surround yourself with good company. Surround yourself with good company. Hang out with encouraging people who respect your choices and support you. We often become the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Make sure those folks are lifting you up. 5. Pray for protection and wisdom. And finally, pray for protection and wisdom. Regular prayer for God's protection and wisdom will help you recognize and resist the influence of the Jezebel spirit. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, why does this story even matter today? Well, the spirit of Jezebel isn't just about one individual. It represents toxic behaviors that can sneak into our relationships, workplaces, even within ourselves. Recognizing it is the first step to combating it. Remember, you are worthy of respect and love. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. So before you go, I want to hear from you. Have you ever dealt with someone who had a touch of that Jezebel spirit? How did you handle it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And hey, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might need to hear this message today.